When people talk about the United States, they often think right away about beautiful cities, busy shopping centers, or lands that have become symbols of popular culture. But at the far north of North America, there is a special state where wild nature still keeps its great beauty and people live in harmony with the mountains, the forests, and the sea. That is Alaska. Called the last frontier, Alaska has the charm of a land that is very big, very mysterious, and very interesting. When people come to Alaska, they can not only see wonderful landscapes that are rare in the world, but also enjoy the native culture and the free lifestyle of the people who live there. Alaska has an area of about 1,723,000 square kilometers, making it the largest state of the United States, twice the size of Texas, the second largest state. But the population here is only a little more than 730,000 people, which makes Alaska a rare land where nature still has complete power. To the east, Alaska borders Canada. To the north is the cold Arctic Ocean. To the west is the Bering Strait, which is only about 80 kilometers from Russia. And to the south, it opens to the wide Pacific Ocean. This special location makes Alaska a very important strategic place, a bridge between Asia and America, a land rich in natural resources, and a perfect destination for people who love adventure. The climate of Alaska is very different and very hard. In the south near the sea, the temperature is softer because of the ocean, but in the inland, the winter is long and very cold with very low temperature, and the summer can be hot suddenly. The far north of Alaska has long, dark winter months when the sun disappears for many weeks, and in summer people can see the sun not going down, an experience that is strange and wonderful for people who come here for the first time. The history of Alaska is also very colorful. Before Europeans came, this land was home to many native groups like Inuit, Yupik, Aleut, Athabaskan, and Tlingit. They lived here for thousands of years, adapting to the hard environment by hunting, fishing, and using nature in a careful and sustainable way. In 1741, the explorer Vitus Bering, working for the Russian Empire, officially discovered Alaska, starting the time when Russia owned and used this land. The Russians built trading posts for furs, but Controlling such a very big, far, and hard land became too difficult. Finally, in 1867, Russia decided to sell Alaska to the United States for $7.2 million, a deal that many Americans at that time called Seward's folly. But only a few years later, when gold was found in Alaska, the Klondike Gold Rush brought thousands of people here, turning the cold land into a land of hope. And then, on January 3rd, 1959, Alaska officially became the 49th state of the United States, marking an important moment in history. If you can choose only one place to start your journey to explore Alaska, then Denali National Park is surely the #1 choice. This place has Mount Denali, before called McKinley, the highest mountain in North America, with a height of 6,190 meters. Denali is not only a symbol of greatness, but also a place where you can really feel Alaska in its wild and natural way. The park is more than 24,000 square kilometers, bigger than many small countries. In summer, visitors can join special buses that go through the park, passing green valleys, snowy mountains, and meeting wild animals like big brown bears, moose, caribou, gray wolves, or golden eagles. In winter, Denali becomes a paradise for people who love skiing and watching the northern lights. Many people describe the feeling of standing in front of Mount Denali as like standing before a god. The mountain is not only high, but also has a strong and holy spirit, making everyone feel small in front of nature. This is surely a place you cannot miss. Only about 20 kilometers from the capital, Juneau, the Mendenhall Glacier is one of the easiest places to visit in Alaska, but it has a very special attraction. This glacier is 21 kilometers long, like a huge river of ice, flowing from the Coast Range Mountains down to Mendenhall Lake in a beautiful mountain scene. What makes Mendenhall special are the ice caves inside the big block of ice. When sunlight goes through the thick ice, it makes a magical blue color, and visitors feel like they are inside a crystal palace. This is a place where every photo can become a work of art. Around the area, there are many trekking trails that lead to waterfalls and viewpoints, giving you the chance to see the whole glacier from far away. If you are lucky, you can also see black bears and bald eagles looking for food near the glacier. Talking about Alaska without talking about Glacier Bay would be a big mistake. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Natural Heritage, Glacier Bay has hundreds of glaciers that fall straight into the sea, making a rare and great natural scene. Visitors often explore Glacier Bay by cruise ship or small boat. The feeling of seeing a huge piece of ice break and fall into the sea with a loud sound like thunder really makes everyone hold their breath. This is the moment when nature shows its great power. Besides the ice, Glacier Bay is also a paradise for sea animals. Humpback whales, gray whales, seals, sea lions, and thousands of birds all choose this place as their home. Coming to Glacier Bay, you not only see the landscape, but also join an adventure in a wild world. Although Alaska is famous for its wild nature, Anchorage gives you a balanced experience between modern life and closeness to nature. This is the biggest city of the state, with almost 40% of Alaska's people living here. Anchorage has all the things of a modern city: museums, theaters, shopping centers, restaurants, and luxury hotels. The Anchorage Museum and the Alaska Native Heritage Center are wonderful places to learn about history, art, and native culture. But the special point of Anchorage is that only a 30-minute drive from downtown, you can see bears, moose, or walk in beautiful mountain valleys. From Anchorage, visitors can also easily start the trip on the Alaska Railroad, passing many amazing landscapes, a journey that many people call the most beautiful train in the world. If you dream to see the Northern Lights once in your life, then Fairbanks is the best place. Located near the Arctic Circle, this city is called the capital of the Northern Lights of Alaska. From the end of August to April, the sky of Fairbanks often shines with green, purple, and red lights dancing in a magical way. Many people describe this experience as a dream, a miracle of nature that no other place in the world can compare. Besides the Northern Lights, Fairbanks is also famous for the Chena Hot Springs. Sitting in the hot water in the freezing cold, looking up at the Northern Lights in the sky, is one of the best experiences when you come to Alaska. Located south of Anchorage, Seward is a small and beautiful coastal town, known as the gateway to Kenai Fjords National Park. This place is a wonderful mix of the sea, snowy mountains, and glaciers. Kenai Fjords is famous for the fjords, which are narrow bays made by glaciers. When you travel by boat in the bay, you can see humpback whales jumping out of the water, seals lying on icebergs, and seabirds flying everywhere. Seward is also the starting point for the Alaska Railroad. The trip from Seward to Anchorage is about 200 kilometers long, but it is called one of the most beautiful train rides in the world, with views that change all the time. The sea, the forest, the mountains, and the glaciers, one after another. Utqiagvik, before called Barrow, is the northernmost city of the United States, located right next to the Arctic Ocean. This is the place where people can see the most special natural events. The sun does not set for 82 days in summer, and there are 65 long nights in winter. Life in Utqiagvik is full of the culture of the native Inuit people. They still keep many traditions like hunting whales, fishing, and making festivals connected with the sea. Coming here, visitors will see a very different Alaska. Harder, more isolated, but also very true and full of identity. The interesting things in Alaska do not stop at the landscapes. This is the place with more than 3 million lakes, more than 100,000 glaciers, and the highest number of brown bears in the world. Some villages in Alaska do not even have roads to connect with the outside. People must travel by airplane or boat, showing the isolation, but also the uniqueness of this land. Every year, the Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race attracts thousands of visitors, bringing back the old tradition of the people here. The culture of Alaska is a harmony between native people and immigrants. The Inuit, Aleut, Tlingit, and Athabascan communities still keep their traditions, languages, and festivals, from ritual dances and hunting customs to bone and wood carving art. At the same time, European Americans and Asian Americans bring new values, making Alaska diverse and rich in identity. Winter in Alaska is often connected with light festivals, ice sculpture, and cultural events, keeping traditions but also bringing something new to life here. The people of Alaska are known for their strong and brave spirit, always finding ways to live with the hard nature. They live close to each other, in strong communities, and they value freedom and simplicity. For them, Alaska is not only a place to live, but also a way of life, a way of living with nature, depending on nature and respecting nature. With all that it has, from great nature, interesting history, unique culture to strong people and special food, Alaska is really one of the best places to experience in the world. It is not only a travel destination, but also a place for people to find balance, to understand more about the power of nature and the humility of humans. Alaska, the last frontier of the United States, is the place that makes anyone who comes here remember for all their life. Because this is not only a land, but also a journey of life.